The path to finding your true north is a calling from within. Sometimes it sounds so esoteric that I find it most helpful and inspiring to hear a real-life story about someone's journey. Stay tuned to hear me provide some thoughts and guidance around IT Cosmetics founder Jamie Kern-Lima's amazing story. To hear her original podcast interview with Amy Porterfield, go to amyporterfield.com/363. Hi, I'm Regina C. Minier, ex-corporate pharma leader turned entrepreneur. In 2009, I decided to take a big leap into the unknown and embarked on a journey to following my intuition, or what I now call my inner authentic voice. Through all the lessons learned, I have taken my personal and professional journey and created a simple roadmap to find your true north through the power of your own inner authentic voice. By using these tools and practices, you'll discover fulfillment, joy, and reassurance in making your own life's important decisions. It is no coincidence we have found each other. Hello, 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 friends of O Universe. Welcome back to this week's vlog. Now, before we jump into today's topic, I'm excited to share with you that folks have been sharing with me their successes with my 3-step framework to tapping into your own inner authentic voice. So if you haven't downloaded my free 3-step framework, go to o-universe.com and there you'll see the framework to download. Now, if you're not sure if it's for you, I suggest you watch the rest of this video to hear what's possible. Now, please note, I do not personally know Jamie Kern-Lima, nor did she use my 3-step framework. Okay, today's topic is on what I call social proof to finding your true north through the power of your own inner authentic voice. A few weeks ago, I was listening to Amy Porterfield's podcast, Online Marketing Made Easy, where she interviews Jamie Kern-Lima, the founder of IT Cosmetics and now the first female CEO of L'Oreal. I was grinning ear to ear when I heard her story for the first time. I'll be honest, I didn't know who she was and realized while listening in, to my surprise, I am actually a faithful customer of IT Cosmetics. I use their amazing foundation. I just didn't put 2 and 2 together. Now, since March is International Women's Month, I thought it would be great to highlight Jamie's amazing story. For all my viewers who may feel stuck where they're at and have this inner voice or nudge telling them not this, or there's something else, or I know I'm made for more, but you're not sure which way to go or what to do next, and you're constantly hearing the chatter of your ego narrative, which I've called EgoN, filling your internal dialogue with fear-based, self-limiting thoughts that create self-doubt and uncertainty, then this episode is actually for you. I'll be sharing highlights of Jamie's story along with my thoughts and guidance for tapping into your own inner authentic voice during this episode. But to really get the full essence of her journey, I highly recommend listening to Amy Porterfield's interview of Jamie on her podcast. Again, that's amyporterfield.com/363. Okay, let's get started. I have 7 key points to call out. Number 1, managing external narratives to hear your internal narrative, also known as your inner authentic voice. When Jamie landed her dream job as a journalist anchoring the news, she thought this was it, until her hereditary rosacea appeared on her face, and that's a bright red rash on your cheek that is incurable, and it's really difficult to cover with makeup. So it created a bunch of fear and self-doubt for Jamie about her job security. Her inner knowing kept saying she's supposed to figure out how to start a makeup company that solves her own skin problems and also helps other people. But she wrestled with herself as she couldn't figure out why she would leave the job she thought was her dream job. She had to deal with external narratives from concerned family and concerned friends when she took the leap to answer her inner knowing, her true north. So the tip I have for you is, what's helpful to manage this type of situation when you're hearing from your own personality's voice and external narratives is to hold on to the inner knowing. Trusting it is the most amazing experience that is reassuring, even when all others doubt what you're doing, even your very own EgoN. The inner authentic voice, or inner knowing as Jamie describes it, will never ever steer you wrong. It only knows good for you and the greater good for all. So point number 2, EgoN, or your ego narrative, exists in all of us. Like Jamie, she experienced self-doubt, fear of rejection, imposter syndrome, and an inner critic that wasn't on her side. So the tip I have is, to manage EgoN, you must first lovingly acknowledge it and say, thank you for protecting us all these years, but no thank you. This is the #1 tool I've been hearing from my community that has been the most helpful for people to move forward. Now, again, my 3-step framework guide provides specific directions on how to manage EgoN, so if you're interested in learning that, I would recommend to download the guide. Number 3, the path to authentic empowerment, finding your true north, or what you were born to do, as Jamie describes it, it takes time. It's a journey that doesn't happen like overnight. After creating her IT Cosmetics line, Jamie spent 3 years trying to get into QVC, Sephora, and Ulta Beauty without success. They kept saying, you're not a right fit. She mentions her new book is decades and decades of her story. So what's helpful to know is that if you are on your path to your true north, or what you were born to do, then know that this is a lifelong journey. Enjoy each step of the process and learn from the challenges and like the bumps in the road. Number 4, it's not about focusing on the outcome. It's about focusing and enjoying the journey. Jamie calls out a really important point that we often completely miss because we come from society's expectations. She calls out that it's never about trying to strive for success, a dollar amount, a job title, or even getting like 6-pack abs. It's about the journey of being who you were meant to be. The tip is, when you trust your inner authentic voice, you are in the know. And being in the know is so reassuring that the best thing is on its way to you. So savoring the process and where you are today in the journey is possible because you are not so worried about the future. You just know with confidence and excitement that it's going to be absolutely amazing and beyond your wildest dreams. When Jamie was struggling to launch her IT Cosmetics for 3 years and almost going bankrupt, I don't think she ever imagined she would be where she is today. You know, she actually sold IT Cosmetics for $1.6 billion. Again, I say $1.6 billion. I say trust the calling, but remember, it's not about the outcome. The $1.6 billion is icing on the cake. Actually, it's big and gigantic icing in this case on the cake. Okay, number 5, be still. Throughout Jamie's journey, she focuses on being still and listening to her inner knowing and trusting it, especially when all external signs and voices saying her gut feelings were wrong. She repeats this throughout her interview with Amy. To really hear your inner knowing, or your inner authentic voice as I describe it, You gotta get still and tap into it. If you are driving your own agenda, staying way too busy, following external voices, and don't have daily quiet moments for yourself, then it becomes difficult to hear your inner authentic voice, or your inner knowing, or your gut feeling, as Jamie describes it. What is helpful is to spend at least 5 minutes, just 5 minutes, in the morning or in the evening when you can have quiet time for yourself, whether through meditation, taking a few deep breaths with your eyes closed, writing down your emotions, your thoughts, and concerns. Just to be still is crucial. Number 6, trusting the inner authentic voice. When Jamie had to decide between the news anchor dream job and the makeup company, all the data didn't point to the makeup company, but she trusted her inner knowing. And once she decided to take the leap, all the external signs said, wrong way. The tip is this: the data, your own personality's thoughts, your dreams, what your family and friends think, may all say to do something else, not what your inner knowing is telling you. Many times, trusting and following your inner authentic voice will make no logical sense. And some may call you crazy or look at you funny, but just know that it knows the best plan for you to find your true north, to find what you were born to do. Okay, key takeaway number 7. Jamie used her inner authentic voice to make life decisions, and the 2 big things she did was she left her dream job as a news anchor to start a makeup company, and secondly, she decided not to use perfect skin models as strongly advised when she pitched her product on QVC for the first time, when everything was on the line. She listened to her inner authentic voice that said to show her bright red rosacea, so people with skin issues can see that the product actually works. She wanted to be authentic in front of an authentic audience. She listened to her inner authentic voice even when external voices or signs said not to. Jamie did all of the following things to find her true north and live the life she was born to be. She trusted her inner authentic voice, also known as her inner knowing, over external voices and her EgoN, or her ego narrative. She trusted it so much it supported her journey over time, as this doesn't happen overnight. She tapped into her inner authentic voice, her inner knowing, by being still. When you are in the know, you are able to address that self-doubt, and you can keep going. She recognizes it's not about the outcome, but the journey to align your life to your true authentic self, which produces ultimate fulfillment, joy, and exhilarating satisfaction. I think Jamie summarizes the authentic empowerment journey really well. She calls out, and I quote, that the failure in life is never actually learning to hear who you're called to be, who you're created to be, and the truth of who you are on your own journey to stepping into all of it. To hear Jamie's entire amazing story, again, I really recommend to check out amyporterfield.com/363. Also, check out Jamie's new book called Believe It. Now, to learn more about finding your true north through the power of your own inner authentic voice, go to my website, o-universe.com, and see the free guide at the bottom of the page. If you would like to step into the flow of what's available to you, feel free to drop a note below, or better yet, join our Facebook community to engage with kindred spirits. So until next time, love and light to you all.